morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. And today, I am letting go. Today is going to be a shorter video, but it's going to be concise and to the point because I wanted to just put this energy out there for you guys, and that's I'm letting go of everything. Everything. Everything? Just joking about letting go of everything, but I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me anymore and have no purpose in my life or have no meaning that it once did. For example, clothing, material possessions, trauma, ego, pride. I'm letting go of so many things in various degrees that no longer serve me in my life and what I'm going in, the energy, than the light that I'm trying to push forward into the energy right now. Because who I was is a vast different than who I am. Because in an earlier video, when I was discussing my hair, when I said why I cut my hair, I cut it because there's a lot of old and stagnant energy in that hair. Hair that I had since I was 18 or 19 years old, right? So I had that hair for a long period of time, and in that time it grew and it grew with me. I had so much energy from different parts of my life in that hair, and I was holding it with me. Not only that, but I was dyeing it, bleaching it, and doing damage to my hair, and I just wanted to experience me. I just wanted to experience my natural hair for once, and who I was, and what my hair looks like, and what my texture is, and I wanted to let go of all that energy and all that frequency I was carrying with me all that time, because I felt like that was dragging me down in some way, and I felt like I needed to let it go. That's the same thing with all these things that are around me now that I feel like serve me no purpose, because some of the things I have now are from holding on to certain things in my life, like clothing. I've had certain clothes since I was 18, 19, 20 years old. I'm 26 years old. I've had certain clothing for that amount of time, and it's just time to let it go because I'm on a new path, I'm on a new journey. And for those of you that don't know, clothing holds energy and frequency in it, and which is why we can't let it go, and why people become hoarders with their clothing and shoes, and they just hold on to so much things because, you know, there's memories within that clothing. When you see that piece of clothing, you touch it or you see it, it brings you back almost right into that moment of when you wore it, or that memory of moment that it was created with, or that person. So if the person gave you the shirt, or the person touched that shirt, or you did something with a person that you cared about, love about, that that's no longer in your life, or that's no longer in this realm of existence, you know, that might be hard to let that go because it feels like you're letting go of that part of you with that person. That's the same thing with death, that when somebody dies, we feel like part of us dies with them because we had so many memories and we gave so much of our energy and of ourselves to those people. So with clothing, I keep looking over there because my closet is over there, but with clothing, we hold so much energy in our clothing, and that's why when the energy we feel, we choose our clothing according to how we're feeling that day. You might feel lazy that day, you might put on this. You might feel, oh, I feel really classy today, I'm going to put on this. I feel really extravagant today, I'm going to put on that. You know, it all depends, and we change in our moods. Same way music reflects emotions, changes, frequencies, moods. It's the same way that clothing does. You may look at this and say that, oh, he might like Sex Pistols, right? He might like the band, he might like Sid Vicious. And while I do, it also represents how I'm feeling today. It represents the almost chaotic anarchy that I might be feeling that day. Not particularly me today. I just slapped this shirt on. But when I leave the house, when I'm like making an appearance for other people to see, for me, clothing is a way of expression. While I hate clothes and I hate wearing clothes, for me, it's also an expression. It's an expression of who I am and what I'm into and how I'm feeling that day, what statement am I trying to make that day. So when I leave the house, I always keep that in mind. And some days I don't give a crap and I just walk out the house and wear whatever because I don't really care how people view me or see me. I just put on clothes because I have to put on clothes, because you might get, you know, arrested for indecency, for nudity, you know. So I wear clothes for that much pretty too. So I'm letting go of clothing. I'm letting go of material possessions, old toys that I had as a kid that I've kept because it's so hard to let go of them, or at least I felt it was, because letting go of these toys that I had since I was a kid. I played with wrestling figures and action figures and all these type of things since I was a kid, and holding on to these things is like holding on to that part of me and that childhood me and that innocence of me, that you know, the childlike person of you, we all have that thing of what we had as a child, and we might still have it today in some form or fashion. And for me, it was that, and video games. And I've held on to those figures for a long time, just having them sit there for no reason, and not knowing that people collect wrestling figures. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to sell these figures. I'm going to depart from them. I haven't sold them yet, but I almost made a transaction from them, but it didn't happen. But I wanted to sell the figures because it's just like, you know what, it's time. They're not serving any purpose. I'm lugging them around everywhere for what? Just to, carry them around and sit them in a room, to sit in a crate, and just that's it. Just to say I have them, and look at these men, look at that. It's just, I didn't like that anymore. So I just felt like it was time. For the past couple of years, I've collected a lot of video games and a lot of game systems, because when I was a kid, I had an original Xbox and a PlayStation 1, and I had a lot of games in that. And when I moved to Illinois, I lost all my games because in a move with my mother misplaced or whatever the video games, and I had to try to rebuild all of that. And I was upset because it was my childhood, and now I was trying to replace it. And collecting the game systems, while I love video games, I realized as much as I love video games, I don't play them enough to collect as much as I do. To collect all these systems that I have, to collect all the games that I have. If I'm not sitting there playing them every day, every other day, even once a week, I don't even play them once a week sometimes. So for me, it's like it's serving no purpose. So it's time to let it go. And for me, letting go is a cathartic and cleansing feeling, because I know I'm holding on to all this baggage of all these parts of me, and not realizing that memory is everywhere. Memory is not just in the mind, it's in the body as well. So when I'm trying to hold on to these material possessions because, when I touch this, when I see this, it brings me right back to my childhood. This was my favorite game. Or when I put on this shirt, look at this shirt, look at these pants. I had these when I was a kid. Can you believe this? Now realizing that the memory is always there in me, and I could go to that point in my life anytime I choose or anytime I want to. I have the capability of doing so, but I limited myself to only experiencing these things again when I had the material possessions, and now it's just time to let it go. And that's what I'm doing. Just letting go. And I'm letting go of traumas too. I'm letting go of things that hurt me, scarred me, people that hurt me, people that did me wrong. And I feel like, we feel like when people do us wrong or hurt us, that we have to hold them accountable for it. We have to punish them by being angry at them and not talking to them or treating them poorly. And for me, I was just like, I can't do this anymore, because I realized that when I'm quote unquote punishing them for hurting me or angering me or doing me wrong or something, I'm really punishing myself and hurting myself. Because when somebody does us wrong and we hold on to it and we're hurt by it, and we go on in our life and we let it change us and affect us, they're really still having that control and power over us. Because every single time that we're triggered by it, it's because of them, and they're controlling us still, and they might not even be thinking about us. And whoever wronged you, ex, a friend, a parent, whoever it is, whoever wronged you, whoever hurt you, whoever lied to you. And I just realized, like, it's just hurting me and it's weighing me down, so I have to just let go. I don't have to, like, involve them in my life. I don't have to reach out and be like, I need you in my life, and I'm sorry, let's be friends now. No. For me, it was just like, I have to let it go. And part of it sometimes for me is I have to reach out to the person and tell them I'm sorry for whatever I did in this situation, or I forgive you for whatever you did in this situation, and I don't hold any animosity towards you. But that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be friends or buddy or text or call each other on the phone or hang out or anything like that. It's just letting go. And then having the ability now to let go when things anger me or upset me. Now, if I feel a certain way about something or something bothers me, I try not to get angry, because I realize what anger is. Anger is just me wanting to control something in the way that I want it to happen. And realizing that life and people don't work that way. They're not going to react, say, do the things that you want them to do. And no matter how much you plan things, life happens. You want to control your life and you want things to go your way, and sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay, and life happens, and you just have to flow with it. Stop trying to force. Stop trying to put a circle into a circle hole. Sometimes you have to put a square into a circle hole if that's what it takes. You know, sometimes you have to put a triangle into a rectangle if that's what it takes, because that's what life may present you. And you're like, well, I wanted this. Sometimes life happens another way, and I'm learning to deal with all these emotions and be the observer of them, of, you know, any jealousy I might feel, any anger I might feel, any sadness, depression I might feel, you know, any of that, any of the emotions I might feel. I take accountability for all of these things and my role in them, and instead of trying to push them on other people. And it's helped me greatly, and I'm able to say what I feel in a situation and then let it go and not hold on to it, not hold a grudge about it, or let somebody say how they feel about me and just let it go, and just like, okay, now I'm back to how it was. I'm not angry, I'm not, you know, nothing. And a lot of people struggle with that, and in my experience so far, a lot of people don't know how to deal with that, because once they're angry, once they're mad, once they're in an argument, there's like there's no coming down, and they have to stay in that way, and then they have to hold you in a punishment position and, you know, give you the cold shoulder. And it's too much energy wasting, and I just don't want to do that anymore. You know, it's messing with my frequency. So I'm going to cut this video short now, because I don't want it to go too long. Like I said, I want it to be more of a shorter video. We'll see if that happens, but I just wanted to say that I'm letting go of so much, and it's a cathartic feeling. It's cleansing for me. I just want to release this into the universe, you know, release this new energy, leading with love first for everything. That is my new thing, and it's helped me a great deal with everything and everyone, and forgiving, and not forgetting, but forgiving, letting go of the emotions, letting go of any resentment, letting go of any of that, letting go of material possessions, letting go of things that I don't need, that I just carry around because it holds some type of significance from a certain part of my life. And I just realized it was weighing me down. And if you feel like something is weighing you down, please assess it. Please assess what these things are, because you might feel lighter when you release it. Because in the time that I'm letting some stuff go, I get lighter, 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 lighter. And the lighter you feel, the freer you feel. And the more you can move without having to worry about, I have to carry this around, Or if you let go of a pain or a trauma, or I can't go here, I can't be around this person because they did this to me. Or don't do this, don't say this because it'll trigger this part of me and what somebody else did to me. When you let all that go, you don't carry that with you. And it's just, you feel lighter, you feel freer, you feel at peace.